Did you know that in our nation about 1/3 of shootings are stopped or prevented by a good guy with a gun, according to the NRA? An example of this occurred in our state this summer in the Greenwood Park Mall, just a few weeks after constitutional carry was passed in our state. This was reported by Fox News. Constitutional carry allows any person within the legal right to do so to carry a handgun on them without any sort of permit. Prior to this summer, that was not legal in the state of Indiana. First, I'll begin by establishing my credibility on this topic. I have grown up my entire life around guns. I was 6 years old when I passed my hunter's education test, and firearm safety has been taught to me long before that. Most weekends after I get off campus and back home, I will most likely be always carrying some sort of firearm in my vehicle. Firearm safety has been drilled deep into me, and the lessons I have learned help keep me safe and the people around me. I believe that even with the passing of constitutional carry in our state, we should still feel obligated to take the time to get permits to carry handguns and be very well versed in firearm safety. To do this presentation, I'll start by explaining the problem, then offer up some opposing alternative solutions, and lastly, explain my solution. So what is the problem exactly? With the passing of constitutional carry, people are getting in trouble for things that could have easily been prevented with a little bit of gun safety knowledge. According to crimeresearch.com, about 57% of people in a survey live in a gun-free household. That doesn't necessarily mean none of them understand gun safety, but it does show that there is definitely a gap in knowledge between the 57% that live gun-free and the 11% of people that carry a handgun every day. I'll be putting up some graphs to show that data. The significance of the problem: certain people may feel overwhelmed by the process of learning how to carry a handgun safely and be responsible, and decide carrying a handgun isn't for them, when in reality there are tons of people that would be glad to inform you with the information you need, and perhaps one day you could even use that information to save a life. The harms of this: someone in and over their head could be trying to help with good intentions but cause more harm than help, which can give anti-gun activists an upper hand in possibly reversing the steps of implementing constitutional carry. Of course, that isn't going to happen overnight, but if people keep making mistakes with constitutional carry, sooner it could build up and cause more problems in the future. A person's ability to carry a handgun can be taken away just like a driver's license, and it can become very difficult to reverse that and get that privilege back. The cause of this problem: not enough people are taking it upon themselves to be well versed in gun safety and protocol before they go out into public carrying a weapon. Some of the counter arguments against this are: some people have been around guns their entire life and don't think that having a carrying permit or continuing to learn about firearm safety is a necessity for them. It's a valid argument. If our state has now allowed us to carry handguns without any permits, why in the first place should we take the time to get them anyways, and why should we care about passing good habits on to other people? Especially, it can be argued that there is a large aspect of gun safety that comes with common sense. To refute this, believe that behavior can rub off on people and cause them to act irresponsibly with firearms. The more that you practice correct firearm safety, the more it becomes like second nature. If it's the first thing you think about when you pick up a weapon, how do I keep myself safe and the people around me safe when I have a firearm on me? And besides, there is an option to get a lifetime carrying license in Indiana. Once you have completed the steps, you never need to do it again if you don't want to. A second alternative solution would be to remove constitutional carry and enforce having a permit again, or adding even more required training classes with a certified instructor. This would force only people that are serious enough and responsible enough to go through the process to be the ones allowed to carry handguns again. To support this argument, a Stanford scholar reports that states that have enacted right to carry laws have seen a 13 to 15% increase in violent crime compared to states that haven't passed those laws. However, having constitutional carry in place inspires more people to carry handguns, which in turn increases the odds of there being a good guy with a gun in the case of a shooting, but decreases the odds of a person being well versed in gun safety and proper protocol. My desired belief is that there should be a safety course free to the public with certified instructors and training instructors. This safety course should explain the basics of gun safety, and upon completion, if your state allows constitutional carry, you should be able to carry a handgun wherever it is legal to do so. The safety course should also recommend the takers to follow through and get their permits, even if it isn't necessary to do so. As of right now, there are no safety requirements when getting a permit besides a simple 10-question quiz. All that is required to get a permit is a background check, getting a background checked, and getting fingerprinted at your local police station with an appointment. You yourself can start the permitting process at concealedcoalitions.com. Some reasons to adopt this: doing so shows responsibility throughout the gun community that we want to do better and make our country a safer place for everyone. The action I recommend you take is looking into the permit process and any online gun safety videos to learn about carrying handguns, and possibly meeting with someone along the way as you work to become responsible gun owners in the future. Another possible action could be to take the Hunter Education Safety course online, which can be found on the Indiana Department of Natural Resources website, which this test provides a great amount of safety information. Even if you aren't into hunting, I would still recommend taking the test. I would also recommend checking out the Warrior Poet Society on YouTube and watching their Universal Firearm Safety Rules videos. In conclusion, once again, I believe we as responsible gun owners feel obligated to carrying permits and be very well versed in gun safety, even with the passing of constitutional carry in our state. 1. A good guy with a gun could still make mistakes if they aren't familiar with their weapon. 2. Getting our permits shows responsibility and desire to do better as the gun community. And lastly, you can never be too safe when it comes to firearms, and you can always learn something new. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something new about carrying handguns.